Now we will consider the next set of ratios, market value ratios. And this set will usually include earnings per share, EPS, price earnings ratio, or PE, and dividend yield. Well, these ratios are completely different from those which we have considered beforehand, because in these ratios we will use market estimates, not just those which are included in the financial statements. The earnings per share, let's start with this ratio. This ratio will measure the efficiency on shareholder returns on a per share basis. And as you see, we'll consider the number of common shares outstanding in the computation. Well, here we will look at the amount of net income earned in a year, and it will be divided by the number of common shares outstanding. This is done to establish how much return has been earned for each outstanding share. Earnings per share is usually quoted in financial markets and is disclosed on the income statement of publicly traded companies, which means that you can come across with this ratio almost in every report. Next ratio, which we will consider, is price to earnings ratio, or PE ratio. Basically, this is a price at which a common share trades on the stock market, and perhaps it's the most important measure of company's financial performance. But of course, it's arguable, as everything in finance. Well, this price to earnings ratio measures the relationship between the current market price of company's stock and the level of earnings per share, or EPS, which is generated by the business. Now, we can compute it by dividing market price per share over the earnings per share. The market price of one share will reflect the opinions of investors about a company's future value compared to alternative investments. This ratio is used as the basic indicator of the market's expectations and will be the favorite ratio of finance analysts, because it helps us to predict the company's future performance. Well, of course, we cannot tell for sure how the company will perform, but this ratio will help us to come more closely to that. Now, dividend per share, or dividend yield. This ratio indicates us how large a return in the form of dividend can be expected from an investment in a company's shares. And this is actually quite important for such investors who look to maximize dividends revenue from share investments rather than realize an increasing market price of the share. Remember that investors will gain their profit in two ways. First, by increasing the share price, and second, by getting the dividends paid. This ratio will represent us such calculations as dividend per share over the current share price, which is also connected to the market valuations.